Yes, people. So I want to talk to you about the 4 C's needed to improve performance. Now, these 4 C's are huge, and there's different techniques that can assist in you achieving these 4 C's. So, what are the 4 C's? Number one, it goes with the first letter is going to be concentration. What is concentration? That's the ability to focus. Number two is confidence, believe in one's ability. You need these. And number three is control, the ability to maintain emotional control regardless of the distraction, regardless of what's going around you. And number four is commitment, ability to continue to work to your agreed goals. Now, there's different techniques such as relaxation and mental or imagery known as visualization that will assist in achieving these four. You need these relaxation techniques, knowing how to relax, which I want to talk about that in another video, and also mental imagery, which I've spoken about visualization. So today's video, I want to talk to you about the first one, which is concentration. So when it comes to concentration, if the athlete, you as a player, do not have concentration on lock, I don't care what your abilities is or what you can do in the ball, it will not be efficient or effective, none so whatever. And research has showed there's actually 2 types of continuum focus. So there's the broad narrow one, which the athlete focus on a large or small number of stimulus, and then there's the eternal external continuum, which the athlete focus on internal stimulus, which is feedings, or external stimulus, which is the ball. Now, the demand for concentration in football sits in sustained concentration. Now, there's 3 types of concentrations. There's sustained, short bursts, and there's intense concentration. When it comes to football, you are required to have sustained concentration. To have short bursts of concentration in football is not going to be, it's not going to be viable. I mean, games like basketball, etc., will fall probably in the short burst to sustained in between. When it comes to athletic sprinting, you're required to have intense concentration, like skiing, etc. But when it comes to cycling, tennis, long distance running, and football, you're required to have sustained concentration and concentration in on the sport. Now, this is very important because if you don't have this, then what happens is there's going to be a lapse in performance. Now, what happens when it comes to common distractions? There are anxiety. These are different types of distractions. So it's not just outside or external, there's also internal. You could be anxious, that's a distraction, number one. There's mistakes that you make, that's a distraction. There's fatigue when you're not fit, the weather, there's, the fans, whatever, the coach, the manager, your teammates, negative thoughts. These are all common distractions, and there's different strategies that you are needed to have in order to target each one. One way to maintain focus is to set goals for each session or competition. That's why I put in the previous videos about goal setting, and that you as an athlete will need to have an overall goal in order for you to improve your focus on a specific task, especially going into games. Because if you just go into games and say, I'm just going to go and play, it's not going to help you focus. If you have a focus to say, I want to get in 3 crosses in the first half, I want to get off 2 shots, etc., different things, these stuff helps. Even trigger words that you can use to help you develop the required focus. If you see your mentality slip, you may think about somebody, or think about your mom, or see your mom's name, or say mom, or whatever it is, or your daughter, whatever it is, to keep you focused. Everyone athlete that I've work with have different ways or different trigger words. Everyone has a trigger word to get you into a fighting mode, but do you have a trigger word when you're in a competition, when you're in a game, that gets you back on task when you see your concentration slipping? If you see yourself thinking about, I'm going out tonight, or I've got a party next week, you are not in sustained concentration. You're what we call in short bursts, and that's where you're probably seeing your performance lapsy-daisy. Now remember, you need to develop these routines, the night before, morning, pre-competition. When you go higher level in football, every athlete or every professional footballer has their own routine. Without many knowing, they all have their routine and what they do in order to get better. So today we're talking about concentration. The next episode we're talking about confidence.